Alright, in the run-up to Toy Story 5's release, I am reviewing all of the Toy Story movies. After the new one's out, I will do a ranking of all the Toy Story movies, as well as a ranking of all the Pixar movies. Let's talk about Toy Story 2.
Never tangle with the unstoppable duo of Woody and Buzz Lightyear! Oh no.
What happened?
Woody's been shelved.
Woody? Honey, are you okay?
This film was released in 1999. And you know what I love about the Toy Story series is that they haven't put out a bad Toy Story movie, but they do wait between sequels too. Like, they're not just rushed out. They're not like, we need to get out another one as soon as possible. And I think if that would have happened, we would have had more poor sequels than we did. Once again, directed by John Lasseter, who directed the first movie, and it stars Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Joan Cusack, Kelsey Grammer, Don Rickles, Jim Varney, Wallace Shawn, John Ratzenberger, Annie Potts, Wayne Knight, John Morris. Andy heads off to cowboy camp, leaving his toys to their own devices. Things shift into high gear when an obsessive toy collector named Al McWhiggin, owner of Al's Toy Barn, kidnaps Woody. Andy's toys mount a daring rescue mission, Buzz Lightyear meets his match, and Woody has to decide where his heart truly belongs. Now, this one is a great movie. I do really enjoy this sequel. It is my probably least favourite sequel of them all, mainly because I think it moves too fast. I think it had to kind of pump an extra gear from the first movie, and I think it did it a little harm, but overall, it's still a good movie. I love how we get this massive Star Wars inspired intro, whereas the first movie, what I preferred about the first movie opening is that kid playing with toys in the cardboard boxes. This kicks it up a notch, and we see like a full on live action Buzz Lightyear going against Zurg. And it kind of pans out and it's a video game that Rex is playing, but we get this introduction that's slightly different, and it kind of takes away the toy aspect for me personally. But also, you got to look at the time. 1999 is when we moved into 3D graphics. It's when we had things like the N64 and the PlayStation. So to have that video game intro definitely sort of reflects the time that this movie was released. And in fact, I remember vividly enjoying the Toy Story 2 game on the PlayStation. That intro is filled with Star Wars references and even sound effects. Like, there's an AT-AT in there, there is the doors and the blasters, there's lightsaber sounds, and when he's crossing the bridge, stepping on the platforms, it plays the 2001 intro sound. There's a sudden heartbreak when that gets you when Woody's arm is ripped. He gets shelved with this penguin called Wheezy, and there's this whole idea that when toys are broken or damaged, they get put up on the shelf and no longer played with. And so it's got a lot of heart, this movie, and there's a lot of messaging in this movie. I just think there's too much going on, really. I liked the first one for its simplicity, and this one tries to cram more in. We get the introduction of, obviously, Jesse, Bullseye, and the Prospector. The Prospector's kind of bad in this movie, is kind of the villain, but we also have Zurg, who's also kind of a villain, and just a lot goes on. You have Al's Toy Barn and the chicken guy, who's also a villain. Like, there is a lot going on in the plot, and I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more simple. One of my favorite bits was when they're coming out into like the yard sale, and Woody tells the dog to keep it casual, and it just reminds me of the whole Chewbacca fly casual, but not too casual. There's a lot of Star Wars references in this. And again, 1999, same year that we got Phantom Menace, so that kind of makes sense, and it's on the back of the re-release of the Star Wars trilogy as well. It's the special editions. So again, you've got to cast your mind back to when this movie was released and why it was referencing these things. The guy from Al's Toy Barn was voiced by the same guy that played Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park. Very familiar voice. I like that we get more fleshed out details on Woody's past as a character in an IP. We get to hear about Woody's roundup for the first time with the catchy song, and we see all this merchandise based on him, and that was a really cool moment just to kind of expand that, because we've had Buzz Lightyear and now we get Woody's chance to kind of shine in this. You have I think one of the most famous, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was because it was most heavily marketed moment, but the cone crossing over to Al's Toy Barn is, for some reason, one of the most memorable moments. They're all trying to cross the road together safely underneath these cones, and it's just one of those things that you remember the most. But yeah, a lot of things happen in this movie, but at the same time, its kind of pacing is a little messy and a little bit slow here and there, and it kind of sags. But still a great movie. I absolutely adore this movie. Still some great jokes in it. The way they're able to balance out so many characters and introduce new ones is quite superb. Obviously, we get Mrs. Potato Head in this as well. So you have that cool dynamic between Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, which is quite funny and is quite a lot of the comedic value in this one. And the animation is a step up. While not massively noticeable from the first one, there's a lot more going on in frame, especially in Al's Toy Barn, where there's these massive aisles. They got scale really well in this one, like the size of the store, the inside of the store, and where they have to sneak around things. And again, the cone crossing, everything is more focused on scale, making everything look larger to the toys, and they do a great job of that. It's just a slight, ever so slight step down from the first one, and other than Toy Story 4, it's the only movie that I can actually kind of criticize a little bit. What's kind of crazy is that there's a story about how one of the Pixar employees almost deleted this entire movie. Completely, nearly deleted huge portions of this movie's files. Disney also originally intended to have a Toy Story 2 direct-to-video. That would have been such a weird move. You know, I'm fully aware this is actually one of the greatest reviewed movies and one of the greatest of Pixar's movies in terms of critic score, at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is kind of crazy. I just think I prefer the first one. I think nostalgia does kind of play a big part in it, but also I just feel like this movie goes too quick, and I just wanted to slow down at times and focus on one thread rather than the multiple threads running through this film. But this is definitely cinema worthy, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below Toy Story 2. Are you looking forward to Toy Story 5? Let me know what your favourite moments are of this movie. Is there something I've left out? Do you disagree with me? Anything you want to chat about down in the comment section, let me know. And I'll see you real soon with the next one. Take care of yourselves.